Our next guest writes about much of this in his new book titled Trumponomics: Inside the America First Plan to Revive Our Economy. He was also one of the architects of the basics of the tax cut plan. He is now the co-author and former Wall Street Journal editorial board member, Stephen Moore. Stephen, it's good to see you.
Hi, great to be with you.
Oh, we haven't seen you in a while. Welcome back.
Thank you. By the way, I got to say something about what you were just saying. You know, I was walking down the street in Dallas a couple months ago, and this Hispanic woman is walking the other way, and she kind of grabs me by the arm as I go by, and she said, are you the guy I see on TV talking about economics? I said, no, that wasn't me. That was someone else. But, you know, because I don't like to get in arguments with people. But she seemed nice, so I said, well, yeah, that was me. And she said, you're Steve Moore, aren't you? And I said, yeah. And she said, I just want to shake your hand.
Wow.
I said, wow. And she said, I did not vote for Donald Trump. She said, I don't even like Donald Trump. She said, but I just got a $1,500 bonus from my employer.
Wow.
And she said, for the first time in 6 years, I'm going to be able to take a vacation. You know, and she said, that was what the tax cut was all about. It was not about helping rich people. It was and by the way, I guarantee you, Dagan, that woman doesn't think that those tax cuts were crumbs,
no,
right?
That is such a good story. That is such a good story.
My only point was the Republicans did not use that.
I know. You're exactly right.
I find
the messaging.
Pelosi's messaging appalling.
They're so bad at it. They're so bad at it.
The top 1% got 83% of the tax cut, yet that's after the tax cuts expire for individuals. That is just a patent falsehood.
But that's the talking point. We've got Dems coming on this show. They say the same thing. We've got to push back every time. They like to spread this idea that, you know, the tax cut went to the rich, and it's just not true.
Maria, every time the book is really about, it's a kind of a story of the tax cut, how Larry Kudlow and I and Laffer put it together for Trump and how he sold it. But, you know, every meeting, from the first meeting we had with Trump on this tax cut, he would say the same thing. He'd say, I want to make sure this benefits middle-class, working-class people. That's what he cares about. This idea that this was some kind of big tax cut for rich people is just patently absurd. You know, we just did a study at the Heritage Foundation. The average middle-class family saves $2,000 a year.
Wow.
That's a lot of money.
And you made it easier for people to do their taxes by doubling the standard deduction.
Yeah, but I think more importantly, you enabled small businesses to employ. I mean, they've created so many jobs. I mean, if I look at what's happened in the economy, it's really taken a hold on the business side. That woman got a $1,500 bonus because her employer felt confident about reinvesting in her, and not only in reinvesting in her, but also future business. Right? We've seen the new orders index is up. I mean, we've seen the economy do well because the business climate is well. And under the previous administration, it was a restriction on fiscal policies, right? Whether it happened to do with regulation in financial markets, whether it had to do with Obamacare. But here's the issue I'm having going forward. We're seeing the markets get choppy and turbulent. We've seen the dollar up 9%. And I know Art Laffer's a big fan of King Dollar, but the dollar has impacted the markets pretty significantly.
But you know what? Market route consumer confidence still at an 18-year high.
Isn't that amazing?
Look at that. I mean, this is in the Wall Street Journal today.
There's no slowdown in business.
Even with the market route.
Even with the market route.
Those numbers just came out yesterday.
Right.
But so what I was getting at is the problem that we're circling around here, even the consumer confidence is up, is the fiscal deficits, right? If we look at the deficit, I mean, listen, Laffer curve, hey, we're going to get more tax revenue, but then we're spending it. And so the problem is we have over $60 trillion in unfunded liabilities. What can be done to address the issues that are affecting
us? You know, what people always ask me, what is the essence of Trumponomics? What is it about?
Yeah.
And it's all about growth. It's about growth. Grow the economy, because this is the first thing Larry Kudlow and I told Trump at our first meeting with him. When you get the economy out of this rut that we were in for 10 years, where the economy was only growing at 1.5% or so, you can't solve any problem. You can't bring the deficit down. You can't solve the poverty problem. You can't reduce income inequality. You can't help middle-class workers. And the whole strategy is get that growth rate up to 3 to 4%, which, by the way, we're at 4. Every economist, Maria, that we debated, you know, whether it was the Obama economist, the Hillary Clinton economist, said it's impossible. You remember this?
Yes.
It's impossible for Donald Trump to get to 3 to 4% growth. Larry Summers said that.
Well, I loved how the narrative during the summer, with the Democrat talking points that go around via email, was that wages weren't growing as fast as inflation, and it was like, well, if inflation's outpacing wage growth, well, on Friday we're going to get wage growth growth likely north of 3%. It's the first time that's happened in almost a decade.
You're right. And what that also doesn't take account of, it doesn't take account of the fact, people actually got a tax cut, so their paycheck is bigger. The other big thing that's going on is hours worked. Because we have such a tight labor market, we have 7 million more jobs than people.
That's incredible.
Isn't that
so?
Amazing?
What's your take on this whole narrative out? I mean, the markets have been obviously very nervous that growth is going to slow down. What do you say to those skeptics who say, look, we're going to go from 3% plus this year to way down in the next 2 years?
I don't see that. I mean, I think.
Do you see any slowdown on the horizon?
We may take a little pause in the fourth quarter, but we're staying on the 3.5% to 4% growth path.
Because you think there's a runway to these policies.
Oh my gosh! Look at the business investment. Now, look, the business investment was a little bit down in the third quarter from where it was, but over the year it's up 7%.
Are you worried about tariffs in that business investment side? Okay.
Sure. The biggest mistake Donald Trump has made, and we talk about this in the book. When Trump asked Larry Kudlow and I to serve as a senior economic advisor, we said, we can't work for free trade, and you're a protectionist. He got mad at us when he said, I'm not a protectionist. I believe in free trade. I just want it to be fair and so on. Some of his policies with respect to getting tough with China, I think are good. It's time for us to get with tough.
Nobody's
Where he's
done
made
it.
The mistake, though, is that's what's really hurting the economy is these steel and aluminum.
Yeah, that's what Dagan's been saying for 2 years.
You're right about that.
I mean,
look at Caterpillar. I talked to more businesses say,
look at the automakers.
You
want more cars made in the United States, and you don't tax the steel that the automakers use.
I think that's why the business spending slowed down in that most recent economic report, because businesses are saying, whoa, we don't know where these tariffs are going, and we don't know what this is going to cost us. Let me pull it in.
Business investment was growing at 11.5% in the beginning of the year, and in the most recent GDP report, it was up 0.8%, I think.
Although that number, there's a lot of problems with that number. I mean, look,
having said that, he just did the deal. He's doing the deal with the USMCA, Canada and Mexico. He's talking to the Europeans. So we could argue about these steel and aluminum tariffs, but is it working? So far?
He used when he was at the Rose Garden 3 weeks ago, when he announced that Canada-Mexico agreement, he was asked about
which still has to get approved by Congress. Next year.
But he basically said, look, I am using the threat of these tariffs, especially the auto tariffs, which like the Germans can't live with and the Canadians. He said, I'm using this threat as a negotiating tactic to get. I mean, that's the thing. You've got to understand about Donald Trump. It's throughout the book. If you want to understand Donald Trump, you have to read his book, The Art of the Deal.
Yeah.
This is the single.
It's all, and I've been saying that it's a negotiating tactic. But having said that, it still is what it is.
Yeah.
And it has changed behaviors on the part of business.
Yeah, it has. Don't argue that this is not going to have. Again, don't hold up a can of soup and say this isn't going to have any impact on consumers. It just doesn't.
You talk about Wilbur Ross.
Yeah, or trying to quiz me about how much a six-pack of beer is going to go up. That's not what it's about. Yeah. It's actually about businesses getting hurt and the people ultimately, the workers.
That's all true. But I'll say this: if Trump can pull off this deal with China, if he can actually get China to stand down, and by the way, he's not making any of the things that he's requesting. None of those are unreasonable. China should stop cheating and stealing and reducing their tariffs and make it easier for Americans to do business. If he can get that done, Maria, you're going to see the biggest boom in the stock market. Now, I don't know if it's going to take 6 months or a year or 2 years, but you know what? I'll tell you this with certainty. Donald Trump is not backing down on China. I know that.
No, I know that.
He's announcing more tariffs next month.
All right, we got a jobs report tomorrow. Good number?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to keep the lowest unemployment rate in 50 years.
Thank you so much.